Hello and welcome to our show, Film Talk with AJ Dean. I'm AJ Dean, your host, and get ready, everybody. I have a super wonderful guest I am welcoming back to our show. I'm super excited. His name is JP Bergeron. He is a film director, a writer, and an actor, not only from the United States, but from Canada as well. And I'm super excited to talk to him. Let's give him a super warm welcome. Hey, JP, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. How about you, AJ?
I am fabulous, and I am so happy to welcome you back. I wanted to, chat with you and catch up and see how you have been. And you look wonderful, and I wanted to talk about what you've been up to. So, how do you want to start the show? Do you want to start the show talking about Old Guys in Bed, your wonderful film, or do you want to talk about The Young and Restless? How do you want to start?
Okay, well, I'd like to talk about old guys in bed, if
Okay.
that's okay with you.
Yes.
My baby, my current baby.
Yes.
Yeah, what is it you would like to know?
Oh,
Uh,
absolutely. Absolutely. So, and these are the stories that are worth our time. These are interesting stories. They're fun stories. They're also realistic stories, right? JP, tell us about your film and how much you're proud of it.
okay, so let's see how it all started. Uh, First of all, the community of older gay men that I belong to, we just rarely see ourselves on screen. There are very few characters, and that's all over the world, very few characters who are older and gay. Of course, there's this series with Jane Fonda, and there's a few other things, but I can actually count on two hands, the number of older gay characters on screen. And so it's a form of discrimination through invisibility, and I need to, I need to give some meaning to my life, and making that community more visible on screen gives me a good reason to get up in the morning. Uh, it's as simple as that. I feel very strongly about it. The other thing is that I was in a relationship online that ended very badly. It was extremely painful. I actually considered suicide. That was a few years ago. I just considered it, but still, it's a meaningful thought. Uh, I hadn't thought about suicide since, I don't know, age 13 or 14, when you're a teenager. Okay. Anyway, it was extremely painful. And then I realized that my Facebook friends, a lot of older gay men, were sharing about a similar experience. So it's just not my story; it's a collective story, because it's very hard to look for love on screen and not pay a heavy emotional price for it. That's not just for older gay men, that's for the whole demographics.
Absolutely. And I was going to say, if it's okay, older gay men are very underrepresented in the film cinematic industry, and we want to call attention to, we want to bring a balance about into the world, don't we, JP?
Mm-hmm.
Because we need to see it visually more. We need to see what is in the world in reality. And that's what's interesting about your film is that you're bringing it to light. You're showing, you're sharing it with everybody, and it's the way to, like, for instance, there's a lot of, like, the celebrities, they're not drawing the box office that they used to. What is drawing box office is stories like yours, reality with a story to tell, an interesting, relatable storyline, and this is what is needed, don't you think, JP? Tell us.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, everybody needs visibility. I mean, all the demographics basically. But I think that for me, the low representation or the unrepresentation of older gay men really sticks out. It really sticks out. Most films who show gay characters, I mean, the leads are like 20, 30, 35. Usually not older than that. That's okay. That's fine. But there is room for, for something else.
Yes, and why do you think it's so underrepresented? Um, I love your trailer, and I'm going to include it so everybody can get a sneak peek preview of your film. And wherever it's been screened, it is overwhelming success. You have had
Thanks.
premiere at Cinema Diverse and the Palm Springs Cultural Center, as well as Fantasia Film. So congratulations to you. JP, because
Thanks.
you are pioneering and trailblazing with this film, and I'm so proud of you. And but why is it? Why do you think it's not balanced yet? Why is it so underrepresented?
Okay, I'll try to unpack it. There's more than one reason. First of all, there's good old homophobia. It's still around. It is still around. You know that. And there's also ageism. It's a combination of discrimination, homophobia, and ageism. Just think about during COVID, how older people ended up being neglected. It was a very sad thing. It's as if when you turn 60, you don't exist anymore. I mean, I'm just summarizing here.
Right.
Uh, and that's not okay. Uh, Now, so that's one thing, the representation of older gay men. Now, there's also, quite surprisingly, there's a whole demographic who are attracted to older gay men. And in a lot of cases, strictly to older gay men. I mean, I'm a gerontopile. And so, and one of the reasons it's so obscure is that you know people think it's a kink. Sometimes people call it a kink. Like, I'm going to have sex with a woman who's 60 with a guy who's 70, and they consider it a kink. It is not a kink. It
Right.
is a sexual orientation, or it's a component of a sexual orientation.
Yes.
And as gerontophiles, we don't have an association yet, I think, but we want to be considered first-class citizens, not people who have a kink.
Exactly. Exactly, JP. You said that so well. And thank you for sharing that. Um, I want to talk a little bit about, I want people to see your movie. So how can we see your movie? It's been through in the film festival circuit and some screenings. So tell us how people in the world can, get a chance, an opportunity to see your wonderful film.
Of course. Oh, we're working on this day and night. Okay, the game plan is that it's going to be available online around January 15th of 2026. For
Yay!
starters, just in the US, for starters. And then a bit later, Europe, world, Asia, not Canada, because we do have distributors in Canada and they take care of the whole thing. But anyway, I'm focusing on the US distribution at this time. And that's pretty much the game plan. And, I'm pretty confident that it's going to go well because one thing I've learned when I studied independent film production in a wonderful school, the Independent Film School, actually, in New York City. And one of the things that I've learned is that if if you make an indie and if you want distribute it, etc., you just can't beat Hollywood at its own game. They have an infinite amount of money. So you got to do the whole thing online on social networks. Social networks are really the best way to promote indie films, and that's a very important thing.
Yes.
And I have thousands of followers, and the film also has a lot of followers, and it's going to grow until January 15th. So
Yes.
that's the game plan.
Wonderful. Yes. And things like Film Hub are a great gateway to Amazon and Tubi if you're interested. That's just to throw it out there. But there are viable, I think Amazon has changed a little bit now, so they might have a few more restrictions on distribution. I know how they're always changing the distribution companies, right? So we have to
Mhm.
keep up to date on that. But Film Hub is definitely a very cool place to segue into other distribution platforms. So I don't know if that's probably on your list already that you've been talking about with your producers. But I'm super excited. Go ahead.
We're actually looking into Film Hub and some other streamers, and I understand. I know what Film Hub is about. It's
Yeah.
sort of an agent for a film, basically.
Yes. Right, right.
So we're looking into all that, and everything should be finalized by December.
Yay.
You're going to hear about it a lot online if you follow me, but you do.
I can't wait. I'm super excited for you. And I want this to be a blockbuster. I want this to be a Hollywood indie blockbuster that breaks all the barriers and all the borders, and it plows right to the very front. I want everybody talking about this. I want Variety and the Hollywood Reporter. I want everybody there and watching this, and they're going to love it. And I'm thrilled for you, so thrilled. So congratulations again. I do want to say thank you very much to Isabella Drean, an amazing filmmaker. We love her for originally referring you to us, JP. We love her, don't we? Isn't she wonderful?
Oh, she's wonderful. She's wonderful. And I keep thanking her about all the stuff that she's sort of organizing for me on the side. Yeah, I'm very grateful. She's a great lady. She's a great director, screenwriter, and a great teacher.
Ye-
Uh,
Oh
she
yeah.
also, she teaches things like holiday movies, how to make a holiday movie, how to write a vertical series.
Oh
Vertical series are like the new thing, as you know.
yeah.
It's like 50 episodes of 1 or 2 minutes each, and it's shot vertically. So you watch it, you watch it in your phone while you're waiting in line, at Trader Joe's. That's the idea.
Exactly. They're like mini soap operas, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. In a lot of cases, it's sort of a romantic, sort of a rom com with, anyway, and also, soap opera and stuff like that.
Isn't that fun? I care about your film in the development stage for the second trilogy of it. Are both the second and the third scripts done for Old Guys in Bed?
Okay, so just to summarize,
Yes.
I'm creating the Old Gay Guys trilogy. Old
Yeah.
Guys in it's a trilogy of 3 feature films, and Old Guys in Bed is the first installment, and the two other installments are Meet Me at the Crystal and Hitchhiking in the Dark. Uh, what's It's 3 different eras, 3 different periods. Okay, what they have in common is that the main characters are older gay men in, I think, a significant way politically, and it's also entertaining. So to answer your question, yes. The script for Meet Me at the Crystal is written, and it's the same thing. It's the same for Hitchhiking in the Dark. That said, I fell in love with low budget filmmaking. I really did. Okay. And I need to rewrite those 2 scripts for a lower budget, like under 500,000. Okay. Because now the way they're written at this time, they would certainly require like 2 million. And one of the great things about low budget filmmaking is that at the end of the day, you have complete control as a director producer. Okay, complete control of the finished product. And I do understand that people who give productions a lot of money, whether it's a Paramount or whether it's Telefilm Canada or whatever, I do understand that they want, and in a sense, they need to have a say, on what's going on. Now, sometimes it's super pertinent, sometimes not so pertinent, or it might be, but it doesn't match your vision. And so that's a big plus. The other advantage of low budget filmmaking is that the film gets actually made. I mean, the film actually exists because it's much less difficult to raise funds for under $500,000 than it is for 2 million. And now, instead of waiting for years, it translates into months, which is so much better. And the other thing about indie filmmaking, I mean, low budget indie filmmaking, is that I discovered that there's a lot of people coming out of film schools and they want a break. Some of them are really, really, really good. And they did gain experience at film school. So you can have a great crew. You may have a few mentors somewhere in there, but you can have a great crew at a lower cost because the unions also have special deals for low budget filmmaking. All the technician and talent unions have that, which is great. So it's a win-win for everybody.
It really is. I love that. I love the freedom that you have, JP, and I've heard that from many of my friends who are directors as well. You have more control, and you can still produce an incredibly high quality film like Old Guys in Bed, like you've done, and deliver the message and do it, with high quality. And I love that. A real epic film. I did want to ask you, was there one or two funny moments in the scenes when you filmed? Like, for instance, did some of the actors accidentally bump into each other, or when they kissed, was there a little bit of saliva that stuck together? Tell me, was there anything kind of funny like that?
Okay, a couple of thoughts here. First of all, uh, on our last day of shooting, I mean, we shot in Montreal, and on our last day, which was early February, it was so cold and there was a snowstorm and we could not reschedule. We just could not. So some scenes, one in particular, was shot in the middle of a snowstorm and it looks really good. But now the actors were so uncomfortable. I mean, they couldn't wait to go back to Toronto, which is warmer. Two of our stars are from Toronto. So there's that. And I felt I kind of felt bad because I was just as demanding, because that's you're supposed to do as a director, in terms of the quality of the acting and so forth. But I mean, it was so cold, and then I had them manipulate props at the same time. So that was quite something. The other thing I want to talk about the intimacy scenes. It turns out that our two main characters, sort of knew each other, and they became friends in the course of rehearsals. Okay, they just friends. The gentleman, Paul James Saunders, the one who's on screen, is a full heterosexual, and the other actor, identifies as queer. I don't know all the details, but LGBTQ. And it worked really well. This gentleman was so cooperative. It was so cooperative, no idea. And the great thing about intimacy scenes and the actors union at this time, actors unions, you got to hire, one of the rules that you need to hire an intimacy coordinator. And at the time of when you sign the contract with the actor, you need to provide all the scenes where there's going to be some intimacy. There's even a distinction between deep kiss with tongue and deep kiss without tongue. It's very, very specific. You gotta describe this. You gotta say, is it going to be a close up, et cetera, et cetera. So everything is understood from the very beginning. There's no surprise. And the intimacy coordinator was extremely helpful because she was the one who talked to the actors and then got back to me if there was any kind of discomfort. And there was a bit of discomfort just for one thing. I already there's a deep kiss in the scene, in the film, French kiss, deep kiss. I like to think that it's the first deep kiss between two older men in the history of cinema. Okay, now I really had a great take. I mean, I loved take one, but I wanted to cover myself even more, so there were two more takes. And then the intimacy coordinator, she came to me. She said, I think that's the limit for your actors. I said, okay, that's no problem. That's fine.
Oh, how funny. Yes. So, but I understand as a director, you wanted that emotion and to cover you. I know the first take you were happy with, but you needed that the emotion between the actors and to feel it right because you were right there. You need it through the camera, right? It's very important, right, JP?
It's very important. I mean, this is not pornography. It's not even an erotic film. It's not about showing the sex. It's about showing what emotionally takes place during the intimacy scenes and how that applies to the story.
I love
Um,
that. I love that. And so much fun. And the intimacy coordinator came up to you and said, I think that she had a measure on it, didn't she? She had a gauge to see how.
Yes, and I think the actors or one of the actors, I don't know, told her, well, okay, that's pretty much my limit now. Okay,
Okay. I respect that. You know, everybody has their limits, right, JP? So I understand.
sure.
Okay. So, you've been in front of the camera and behind the camera. So, what makes a smooth film production? What makes a visually appealing film? Because I'm just going to switch the pictures here. Here. You are on The Young and the Restless. Look at the gorgeous photo. This is you, right?
This is me. Yeah, okay, I was much younger.
Yes. That's you, and it's a great headshot. Love it. And did you enjoy working on The Young and the Restless? And it's so different now being a director. Talk to us about that.
Okay, yeah. So I worked on Y&R as an actor, and I had two episodes, but that was a great experience. Okay, I have a place in Palm Springs. I also have a place in Montreal, and what a surprise! They booked me for the warden of some prison in Palm Springs. We don't have a prison in Palm Springs, to my knowledge. But anyway, there was some kind of synchronicity, and yeah, it was the kind of character that I played before. It was not a surprise, someone who's like, someone who's like, has authority, but is not nervous and does the things that he has to do and asserts his authority in a way that does not generate any yes buts. Okay, and it pretty much went the way I thought it would. There's only one rehearsal, just one. You got to come up, of course, you need to be fully memorized. And more than that, you got to know what you're going to be offering in the scene. And basically, the rehearsal is for the blocking.
Oh.
And you're responsible for coming up with good quality acting on take one. And I think there was just like one or two takes for my scenes. I was really well prepared and I knew it would be, stressful. So I was not stressed out because I prepared my relaxation. And it was a lot of fun. It really was. I love doing that.
I love that. And I love you that you had such a great experience, with that. And again, this is a good wisdom for everyone out there. Listen to what JP said. You said that you were well prepared. That's so key, isn't it? You had practiced, right?
That's what I teach. I don't know if I told you that I'm also an acting teacher, and it's not a plan B. I'm a professional acting teacher. I come from a family of teachers, and I decided many years ago that teaching part time would be a part of my career. So it's not I don't want to judge, but it's not like somebody who decides is going to teach because he needs to pay the bills, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, I need to pay the bills, but it's not. I would have other avenues. Let's put it this way. So the that's exactly what I teach, and that's what I'm going to say later tonight to my students. It's all about the preparation. Before a shoot, you need one to be fully memorized. You need to really understand the script and the scene. Okay, you need to identify as a human being somehow, with the character you play, and you need to have a game plan. Like, for instance, if you read the scene and there's a twist in the middle, you got to address that somehow. Maybe the character is like really surprised. So you got to prep for these things.
Right.
And if you do prep, it's probably going to be a smooth ride.
Yes.
And I think sometimes actors are afraid to prepare because they're afraid the director, whether let's just put the soaps aside, I don't want to dismiss them, but I mean, I'm talking about big budget or, they're sometimes the actors are afraid to come up with something on their own because what if the director doesn't like it? Am I going to be back for another episode? Will I get cut? So, actors are really sensitive and we have to respect that. And yeah, so you honestly, if you prepare, you come up on set with your game plan and you do it to the best of your ability, and the other actor has their own game plan. And if the director likes it, great. Or he likes it but he wants to make a couple of adjustments, but if he says or she says, well, we're not going to do it that way, let me explain. Okay, he's a bad guy, but we want him to behave like an absolute angel. Then you need to switch your interpretation
Yeah.
on the spot. Now, the great thing is that if you're really well prepared, uh, uh, changing your interpretation is not such a big deal because a lot of the stuff still remains the same. I'm
Yeah.
still going to be in love with that person. So anyway, so
Yes.
that's
Oh, I love that. Yes, this is fascinating, JP. Thank you for sharing that. It's so true. And just be who you are and do the best of your ability and do your homework. Get prepped and prepare as much as possible. And people appreciate that. They appreciate a professional. I know we're artists, but they also appreciate the business side of show business where you have the discipline and the organization that goes very well, hand in hand with filmmaking, doesn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
sure, absolutely. You got to be a team player. It's really important.
Absolutely, 100%. And like you said, you have to pivot on a dime. And I just say, roll with it. Let's go. Roll with it.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah. Let go of the fear. Have fun.
Exactly. Have fun. Enjoy it. And no regrets. And speaking of no regrets, we have a picture of you here, and you were also in Alias. And so
Yes.
let's talk about that. Was that fun too?
Yeah, that was great. Oh God, I got a couple of stories about it. So anyway, I hadn't seen large residuals like that ever. The residuals were pretty good. I had a good salary, and the residuals were really good. So like for 2 or 3 years, I was getting resids, and as I did a lot of my previous work in Canada, the residuals in Canada are just not as high as in the US. It's a completely different thing. So yeah, so that was a surprise. The other thing is that I actually had an intimacy scene with the wonderful Jennifer Garner, and
Wow, JP,
yeah,
wow.
yeah, wow, yeah, wow. I mean, anyway. Should I say that? I don't know. Well, we'll see. Okay, well, I had a couple of hetero colleagues, actors, who said, "Oh my God, I wish I'd got that part," but I guess it was a bit of, sense of humor or something. Um, so I have to say that Jennifer, well, was a total pro. Number two, I teach a lot of actresses who haven't made it yet. Okay, and she was just as humble as these girls. I mean, there was no difference whatsoever. No, she didn't play power or whatever. She was just
I
part
love
of the
it.
team. Now, during the intimacy scene, so I was lying on a bed, and the blocking was that she would like sit on me, and that was and on the bed behind there was like the cameraman and there was the director and so forth, and we discussed the whole thing. I mean, it didn't take a lot of time. That was a fairly short discussion, but Jennifer said, okay, so at that moment, I'm going to be sitting, and then I'm going to put that, that sort of, I don't know, S&M whatever under your, around your neck. It was that kind of thing. So, she described the actions and she said, are you okay with that? Yeah, sure. I said, absolutely okay with that. And then the director said, could you move like maybe 6 inches, that sort of thing? I said, yeah, sure. Okay. All right. And it was business as usual. It was exactly as if it wasn't an intimacy scene. It was wonderful.
Oh, that is amazing. And I bet you would love to work with her again, right?
Yeah, and she was very helpful during the fires. She really took a stand, and she helped people. With her credibility, her fame. She was able to be heard by a lot of people, which is terrific.
Jennifer Garner, and what a lovely um, person she is. Thank you so much, JP, for sharing that. And speaking of, she's a lovely person, just like your students, and humble. How can people get in contact with you so they can take your classes? Tell us about that. Do you have a website or just reach out to you on Facebook? How would you like them to contact you?
Okay, so there's going to be a transition in a couple of months. I'll explain. At this time, I teach live in Canada, in person. Okay. Now, at some point in 2026, I'm going to start teaching online for actors 50 and older. Okay. With a special
Yay!
program tailored for those needs, tailored for actors who are 50 plus or who want to be in the business and are 50 plus, like having a second career, if you will. And so I'm going to start teaching online. And again, if you follow me, you're going to hear about it on Facebook. I promise you.
Yay, congratulations. And I am so excited. Yes, I can't wait to find out more. And people doing this online, this will be international, JP. This is so great. And because you have a wealth of knowledge of filmmaking and directing and perspective as an actor as well, in front of the camera and behind. So it's wonderful. And I did want to ask, so I can't wait. I'm super excited. So congratulations on that, and looking
Cool.
looking forward to all these great things coming for you. I'm just so happy for you. Um,
Thanks.
JP, what fuels your work and keeps you inspired on a daily basis?
Well, the I fell in love with indie filmmaking. It's basically what I do with my life. That it's a big chunk of my calendar, and knowing that it's a trilogy and knowing that it's, to my knowledge, uh, uh, going to be funded. Okay, it's it helps me, get up in the morning feeling very enthusiastic about that and about life. Well, life, I mean, there's always some ups and downs. There's always, I don't know if you've noticed, there's always something. Okay. Now, this morning I couldn't get into my Facebook account. Don't ask me why. There's always something. So I had to call a technician and, specialist. Um, but yeah, and ultimately, uh, I think the main thing that drives me. See, I'm 73. Hopefully, I'm going to live another 20 years. It's now a very common thing, to be 90. Okay,
Yes, yes.
and I'm doing all I can to remain healthy and become even healthier. I do my cardio, et cetera, et cetera. And really, the incentive is existential. It's very deep. I want to leave something to the world that makes it hopefully a bit of a better place. And this is absolutely sincere. This is it. And I realize that I do leave something as an actor and as a teacher, but you know, I really want to leave something as a filmmaker, as a writer. The uh, I'm the kind of person who was always supposed to write. You know, I mean, this is my personal experience. When I was a kid, you know, I wrote poems and I sent them to contests and that sort of thing. And but while I was during all these years, you know, when I was in the business between I don't know 18 until 60, I was in I was not closeted with my colleagues and with the industry, but I was totally closeted for the media. And as I'm very well known in French speaking Canada, uh, I had to come out, and I explain why. Alone with Mr. Carter, you know, is a gay film, at least is the way we used to call them. And I, about a year before we launched it, you know, I said to myself, okay, look, we're going to launch it and you're going to come out because regardless of the consequences on your acting career, you just can't go to TV shows and say, yeah, it's about, you know, it's gay. And well, I don't really want to talk about my personal life, but I knew a lot of gay people. You know, you just can't do that, at least nowadays, you know, you just can't. And so when I came out, actually I was ready. I said, if the cost of that is that I'm going to be very stereotyped and extremely typecast, so be it. And
And
now,
you'll find a whole community out there that embraces and loves you. And we do.
sure,
Yes.
yeah,
Go ahead, love.
yeah, okay, no, sure, but now it's a beautiful story. After I came out, I was out of work as an actor for 3 months. I said, okay, this is it. Okay, that's over. Okay, fine. Okay, it's going to be gay characters and gay shows, etc. But as I've spent years playing authority figures, fathers, and sometimes husbands, you know, uh, somehow they kept hiring me for these same roles. It was just like a non-issue. Okay, and what I got as a big reward is that now people were you know were approaching me for gay characters. I played a trans woman,
Great.
and I played a few other gay characters that are all very different. And so it actually, you know, it actually widened my scope, which is
Yes.
terrific.
Yes, this is wonderful. And I do want to encourage everyone who is, no matter what your sexual orientation is out there, there is a place and a community for you. So be proud
Mm-hmm.
of who you are. You're important in this world. Isn't that right, JP?
Absolutely.
And you have a message and a purpose. So I just want to encourage everybody out there. And I love what you said. I loved how you said, you know, I'm going to be who I am. And that's it. And that's really the freedom of living authentically. And so I'm so proud of you, JP. And I want to encourage
Thanks.
everybody else to, because we, we're loved out there. You'll find the people that love you. Isn't that right, JP?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And be just fine. You're going to do what, you know, be yourself.
sure. Absolutely. You always win when you know when you're more of yourself. There's always a reward somewhere.
Exactly, exactly. So thank you for sharing that with us and what inspires you and keeps you going. And do you have any industry wisdom for the young people who want to be like you?
Okay, who want to be like me? Okay, so we're talking about, say, a young a young gay actor in there around 20. Okay, uh, well, it's an excellent question. There are many aspects to the answer. Number one, I'm going to be mentoring very soon a young actor who's gay and he's really talented. He's about, I don't know, 28, and it's the program includes that uh, he's gonna learn or fine tune the traditional male gender expression, because there's a gender thing, not just homosexuality. And so he's going to work on fathers, sons, husbands, tough guys, etc. So I would say, and to answer your question more specifically, I'd say you need to go to school. Whether you want to be a writer, a director, a producer, or an actor, you need to get good. That's step one. Okay, too many actors, meet with casting directors and so forth, and it's the case in France, in Canada, in the U.S. The it's like too much too soon. They're not ready. And so, first off, I would tell them to study, and then when they feel that they're prepared enough, okay, if they want to be a filmmaker, I would say you need to make your first short film in, I don't know, this month. Even if, consider it as just practice. Maybe nobody's going to say it. You bring a bunch of friends. There's a bit of a screenplay, and then you have a director of photography, and you shoot your short, and that's going to be an extremely valuable experience.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, you got to get active. That's the power of action, of course. You know all about that, because you're also in some way a self-starter, and that's great. And I congratulate you for that, because it's no small thing. Having a podcast, and and it's getting more and more popular, and having guests, etc.
Yep.
So congrats.
Thank you so much. That means so much to me coming from you, JP. And I take that to heart. I really do. I love your
Thanks.
advice, and just excellent advice. Thank you so much. We're going to have to start wrapping the show up soon, but I have a couple more questions for you that I wanted to ask. First of all, what movies make you laugh? What's funny to you, JP, as an actor or director?
Makes me laugh. Diane Keaton made me laugh all the time. And there's a reason for it. It's because she's very truthful in her comedy.
Yes.
Yeah, I personally, I'm not really interested in big, broad comedy. Uh, I love Woody Allen, because it's usually comedy that comes from the heart, and it's truthful. It's realistic. You don't feel that the actor wants to be funny,
No,
and,
that's
and
right.
you know
They're naturally that way, right?
yeah. So that's really my preference. Yeah, exactly. And they don't telegraph anything, and it's just very truthful, and it's hysterical.
We
Yeah,
I
I
do
mean,
want
I
Okay, sorry,
go
go ahead.
ahead.
I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I really, really, really love Diane Keaton. Uh, it's been hard for a lot of us to see her leaving this world, because uh, us baby boomers, I mean, she's like, she was such a light. She was such a model. She was so, she touches us at so many levels. Um, and yeah, I really love Diane Keaton. She died. It's a terrible thing.
It's so sad, and I'm so sorry. And we give our heartfelt condolences to her family and friends out there
Oh, yes,
in the
absolutely.
world. And something's got to give. Or I'm sorry, wasn't that one of them? Something's got to give.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
Something's
so
got to give. I think it is, or was it with Meryl Streep? I don't know, but she did a few romantic comedies, like one with Jack Nicholson.
yes,
Yeah, and there was like the First Wives Club with
yes,
Bette Midler, and excuse me, I'm having a boomer
Goldie,
moment.
Goldie Hawn.
Goldie Hawn.
Yeah, Goldie Hawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I'm there with you, and I agree. I loved all of that, and she had an incredible light, and I just, yeah, I do. I'm feel so sad about that. And we need to value those who remain here on the earth. We need to value who we have left, right, JP? I mean,
Yes, now's the time.
yeah,
You
now's the
know,
time.
if you like, love someone, if you have, positive feelings, we should really tell these people that they mean something to us. But we live in such a crazy world, if only because we're all trying to optimize each and every minute. Most of us have an agenda that's a list that's way too long.
Yeah, that's so true.
you know,
Yeah.
I mean, every day, I come up, I create my agenda for the day after, where I need to show up, what's discretionary, etc. And I'm never able to do it all. I mean, I can do 80%, and then it gets postponed to the day after. You know the story. You know what it's like.
Absolutely. And then we put the ones that are on the list that we didn't get to the next day, right? Or the,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
And and we get through it. We plow through it, and you're doing great, JP. I want to let you know, and
Thanks.
thank you for saying I was doing great as well. And we're all doing great. We just need to keep going and keep at it and keep active. And you're right, action is the word. So get out there and create film and create movies and short films, just like JP said. JP, I wanted to ask you, is there anything else you want to share with the world, your message, or any thank yous or anything like that?
Well, there are so many people that I got to thank. So many thanks to my wonderful co-producers, Danny Rossner, Victor Calamote, and Robert Harvey, to my lead actors, Duff McDonald and Paul James Saunders, to our wonderful music man, Enzo De Rosa, who created some original music and took care of who would record the music, etc. He did he did a job that's just incredible. My director of photography, Claude Pricourt, and pretty much everybody I've met in my life. Big, yeah, pretty much because I guess the last thing I want to say is that uh, I I was lucky in terms of I spent my childhood with my family. The arts and literature were extremely important. They were ever present. Uh, it was a family of teachers and business people. So at a very young age, I learned that being a teacher is really something great, just like being a doctor or an attorney. It's the way my parents saw it. Okay. And so I learned that, and also it was, my dad was in business, and my older brothers were in business, and I heard about marketing strategies in the morning while they were having breakfast, and while I was still snoozing. I mean, they had breakfast at 6 or 6:30 in the morning. I can't do that. I never could. So thanks to my family, thanks to my wonderful family.
Oh, that's so sweet. I love that. And what a blessing to have a family that is supportive. That's incredible. And they have, they seem to be like cohesive and together and talking about interesting things to further each other's and benefit each other. What an amazing family that you are blessed with. That's wonderful, JP. So, and if you don't have that, then find people or a group that are like that, right, JP?
Yeah, that can support you. Yeah. Whether you're a teenager or an adult, you need to find your tribe,
That's
basically.
it. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, JP. I've enjoyed talking with you today and catching up. I want to encourage everybody to follow JP Bergeron on Facebook, and he's also on IMDb, and he's coming out soon with some kind of contact, a website, right, for the classes online, right, JP? So
Yeah, that's going to be online later in 2026. Absolutely.
in 2026. I'm super excited. Okay, and also your heart message, this is our signature. I always ask everybody their heart message. What's your heart message for the entire world?
Don't never worry about what people think about you. Just do it.
I love that so much, and now more than ever, that's how we need to live. No matter what, we need to do what's in our hearts, right? Create what's
Mhm.
in our hearts for the good of ourselves creatively as artists, and then also to share that message with the world. Thank you so much,
Yes.
JP.
Well, thanks for having me. It's been great. Thank you so much.
I'm so happy to have you anytime. Come back anytime. And we love you, JP. And I'm so excited. Can't wait for all the wonderful things coming your way and our way. And everyone out there, also, if you have a chance to see Old Guys in Bed, please, it's at a premiere or a screening or a theater, please check it out. It's absolutely fabulous. And I will include the trailer so everyone can enjoy it as well. Well, thanks so much, JP. And until next time, au revoir.
Okay, au revoir. Thanks, AJ.